When I was a little boy, my family would visit a restaurant called Friendly's, where they served hamburgers and French fries and ice cream. But on the menu, there was this big picture of a special pink drink called the Fribble. It looked frosty and frothy, and the kids in the advertisement seemed to love it, and I wanted it. But it also cost more than twice any other beverage on the menu, and so I felt bad for asking for it. Until one day, Grandpa Julie, of blessed memory, took me out to lunch, just us, and he said I could have anything I wanted on the menu. Now, I knew Grandpa Julie did not have a lot of money. This was a man who would respond to the price of any item, a slice of pizza, a car wash, with the same answer. Are they out of their minds? This is a man who would go to the supermarket and hope to be overcharged so that he could make a fuss with the manager and get something free in return. But on this day at Friendly's, he offered, and I knew that it was my chance to try the Fribble. It arrived, and I could not have been more excited. I put the straw to my lips, and this was not what I expected. I don't remember the exact taste. I think it might have been fruity. This was about 40 years ago. However, I remember being disgusted and then horrified because Grandpa had just spent his fortune on this drink. And so I swallowed my opinion with little sips and tried to hide my dislike with a smile. And then I'll never forget what happened. Because Grandpa Julie looked at me with his kind brown eyes, and he said, "Andrew, if you don't like it, it's okay. You don't have to drink it." I remember that moment to this day because my grandfather gave me not only what I wanted, but what I needed. He showed me that he would share everything he had with me. He showed me that I was entitled to trial and error, and that whatever I was feeling was okay. He showed me how powerful it can be to be seen and cared for. Because of him, I know what that feels like in my bones. I have since realized that Grandpa Julie was a spiritual philanthropist. He was a simple man from the Bronx with no financial holdings to leave behind, though he sure tried with lots of lotto tickets. But whether he knew it or not, and I don't think he knew it, Grandpa Julie was bequeathing me this vital lesson of worth and worthiness. And he demonstrated to me that you can make a lasting impression on someone simply by seeing them. I imagine that on this sacred day of memory, many of us can think of at least one loved one whose essence touched ours. At this time of Yizkor, we are remembering grandparents, parents, partners, siblings, teachers, friends, children. This can be an extremely hard time. And amidst all of the pain, a part of our work is to discern what we might have received as our inheritance and how we can give it away ourselves. We can often find our spiritual bequest in the sights, the smells, and sounds that we encounter long after our loved one's passing, particularly if we're able to develop new appreciations for the significance of those sense memories. For me, it was a pink drink. Some of you have told me your version. For one congregant, it was a shovel and pail for sandcastles through which she's now realizing her stepfather showed her what it meant for someone to kneel down and meet her at her level. For someone else, it was the smell of fresh challah, which her wife would bake after hours each week for Shabbat meals, and which symbolized a commitment to making family time special. For a third person, it was his friend's tendency to sing with the car windows open at stoplights. At one time, a bit embarrassing, but now a signal that you should always give yourself permission to be yourself. It's as if there's a safe deposit box of objects, stories, aromas, expressions, just waiting for us to take them out when we need them. I'll give you a moment to consider what you've been given. Give me a nod when you've got it. Sometimes we need to struggle for the blessing since our relationship may have been strained or worse. Or if the person died far too soon and we feel robbed for what we didn't get. And it can be a source of strength and comfort to open up that safe deposit box and see what we've been left, what we can make of it, and think about how to share it with others. It's a way for those you miss to remain present with you, and even to ensure their legacy lives on far beyond you. In fact, when you find yourself exhibiting the same quality you've learned, feel free to tell the people around you, this behavior of mine was sponsored by my spiritual philanthropist. I recently told my 6-year-old nephew, Julian, about Grandpa Julie, the man for whom he is named. Now Julian wants ice cream at Friendly's. Just as Grandpa Julie let me try and explore new things, Julian and I go on our own trips, just us. He's talked a lot about tall buildings, so we went on an adventure to the One Summit skyscraper down at Grand Central, for a king's ransom, I might add. I was wondering in the elevator when Julian held my hand if he'd be scared to approach those giant clear windows looming high over Manhattan. When the doors opened, he ran and pressed his nose against the glass. And if he hadn't wanted to, that would have been okay too. A gift straight from the vast estate of Grandpa Julie Kaplan. One of my favorite poems for mourners ends this way. Love doesn't die, people do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. Zichronam livracha. May their memories be for a blessing.
Masterclass Yizkor. Thank you.
That was fabulous. Oh my God. Thank you.
Good night, my angel, time to close your eyes and save these questions for another day. I think I know what you've been asking me. I think I know what you've been trying to say. I promised I would never leave you. And you should always know, wherever you may go, no matter where you are, I will never be far away.
Good night, my angel, now it's time to sleep, and still so many many things I want to say. Remember all the songs you sang for me when we went sailing on an emerald bay, and like a boat out on the ocean, I'm rocking you to sleep. The water's dark and deep inside this ancient heart. You'll always be a part of me. Good night, my angel. Now it's time to dream, and dream how wonderful your life will be. Someday your child may cry, and if you sing this lullaby, then in your heart there will always be a part of me.
Someday we'll all be gone, but lullabies go on and on. They never